Army of Thieves kicks off with a thrilling tale of Hans Wagner, a legendary master locksmith who created 3 extraordinary safes that he believed no one could ever crack. True to Wagner's claim, these safes have remained unbreached for decades, defying the world's greatest thieves. We then meet Sebastian, an enthusiastic yet ordinary man who spends his days working as a humble bank teller. In his spare time, Sebastian posts videos about safe-cracking techniques on his YouTube channel, though his uploads rarely draw much attention. However, Sebastian's life takes a dramatic turn when he notices a mysterious comment on one of his videos, a video about the legendary Hans Wagner safes. The anonymous commenter invites Sebastian to a secret, underground safe-cracking competition. Intrigued and excited, Sebastian follows the clues provided by this mysterious stranger and arrives at a hidden venue where an intense contest is underway. Sebastian is immediately thrust into the spotlight, thrown into the heart of the competition by an impatient official. Confused and nervous as the clock counts down, he quickly begins working on the safe before him. Despite his lack of experience under pressure, Sebastian remarkably advances round after round, driven by instinct and sheer determination. Against all odds, he makes it to the final stage and ultimately emerges as the surprise champion of the contest. Amidst the crowd's wild cheers celebrating his stunning victory, Sebastian locks eyes with a strikingly beautiful woman who has been silently observing his remarkable skills. However, before he can approach her, she mysteriously vanishes into the crowd. The next morning, Sebastian returns to his usual daily routine, stopping at his favorite coffee shop before heading to work. But today is different. He once again encounters the mysterious woman from the competition. It soon becomes clear she's been following him. Introducing herself as Gwendolyn, she reveals herself as an internationally renowned thief, the very same individual who commented on Sebastian's video about Hans Wagner. Gwendolyn showcases some of her expert thievery to demonstrate her skills, leaving Sebastian astonished. She then explains her real purpose for finding him. She wants Sebastian to join her elite team for an ambitious heist. Sebastian is initially shocked by the proposal, as he's never thought of himself as a criminal. Just as he's about to refuse, Gwendolyn reveals the irresistible truth. The targets of their heist are none other than the 3 legendary safes created by Hans Wagner himself. Hearing the name of his idol, Sebastian feels a spark of excitement and fascination that he simply cannot ignore. After careful consideration and a powerful sense of curiosity, Sebastian agrees to join Gwendolyn and her skilled crew, embarking on the adventure of a lifetime. That night, Sebastian watches a chilling news broadcast about a spreading zombie epidemic, fueling terrifying nightmares about the undead. Little does he know, his own life is about to become just as thrilling and dangerous as the chaos unfolding around the world. The next day, Sebastian eagerly heads to the address provided by Gwendolyn. Once there, she warmly welcomes him and swiftly introduces her highly skilled crew. Corina, an expert hacker, Rolf, a gifted getaway driver, and Brad Cage, a self-proclaimed leader and charismatic mastermind of this daring international gang of thieves. Without wasting a second, the 5 quickly dive into planning their ambitious heist, cracking into the legendary Hans Wagner safes hidden in prestigious locations across Paris, Prague, and St. Moritz. Gwen explains that the safes are owned by Bly Tanaka, a ruthless figure infamous for his brutal tactics. Soon, the team arrives in Paris, ready to execute their first thrilling operation. When Sebastian sets eyes upon Wagner's magnificent safe for the first time, he's overwhelmed with awe, unable to contain himself. He passionately shares the captivating story behind the creation of the safe, yet quickly becomes anxious about his ability to crack such a masterpiece. Gwen confidently reassures him that only he holds the skills needed to unlock this legendary safe. Encouraged by Gwen's belief, Sebastian immerses himself in the challenge, putting on classical music that Hans Wagner himself once favored. His nerves calm, and his focus sharpens, until at last, he triumphantly opens the seemingly unbreakable safe. Filled with excitement, Sebastian celebrates his incredible achievement, caring far more about the satisfaction of solving Wagner's puzzle than the money itself. Meanwhile, their successful heist in Paris immediately captures the attention of a determined Interpol agent named Delacroix, who has a personal vendetta against the gang. Brad, whose real name is Alexis, once shot Delacroix years ago, fueling the agent's obsession to catch him. Sensing the gang's next targets, Delacroix and his team swiftly prepare to intercept them at their upcoming heists. Back at their hideout, Sebastian bonds even more deeply with Gwen, discovering their mutual passion for Hans Wagner's work. She reveals a thrilling secret. Wagner created one final, extraordinary safe, located in Nevada, their ultimate prize. Despite the ongoing zombie outbreak there, Gwen is determined to eventually tackle this ultimate challenge. The very next day, the team races to Prague to target Wagner's second legendary safe. However, their plans are quickly jeopardized when Delacroix anticipates their move, tracking them down with Interpol's elite special forces, who have been chasing Gwen's gang relentlessly for years. At the second location, Gwen and Sebastian face unexpected complications trying to access the vault, but Gwen swiftly disables the guards, buying Sebastian the precious time he needs. Outside, tensions rise as Brad worries about their delayed success. To distract the increasingly suspicious security guards, he initiates a dramatic fake robbery. Realizing too late that he's at the wrong location, Delacroix rushes to correct his mistake and finally arrives as Sebastian and Gwen barely make their escape. With Interpol and security hot on their trail, Rolf speeds away in a getaway car. Chaos erupts as Brad is shot in the shoulder during their frantic exit. Forced to flee on foot with heavy bags of stolen money, Sebastian and Gwen race desperately to meet the moving car. After quickly handing over the cash, Brad grabs Gwen and pulls her into the vehicle. Realizing Brad had intentionally left Sebastian behind due to his jealousy, Sebastian now faced a frantic escape, desperately dodging Interpol's pursuit to make it back safely to his home. Meanwhile, Gwen was livid. Although her original plan involved parting ways with Sebastian only after completing all three heists, Brad's betrayal was a step too far. Gwen confronted Brad furiously, certain his jealousy drove his actions. Refusing to tolerate his behavior, she boldly decided to abandon the crew to continue the mission solely with Sebastian. Corina shared Gwen's sentiment, quickly choosing to follow her and leaving Brad and Rolf behind. Exhausted and disheartened, Sebastian finally arrived at his home, only to be startled by Gwen and Corina waiting for him. They declared their intentions to form a new team, explaining passionately that breaking into Wagner's legendary safes meant far more to them than mere money. Persuaded by their enthusiasm and mutual admiration for Hans Wagner's work, Sebastian eagerly agreed to complete the final heist alongside them. Elsewhere, Interpol received an anonymous tip-off about the group's supposed plans to rob the final safe at exactly 5 o'clock in the morning. Immediately, Gwen, Sebastian, and Corina headed to St. Moritz, the location of Hans Wagner's last European vault. Interpol, believing they had the upper hand, also rushed to the casino housing the safe. Upon arrival, Delacroix alerted the casino manager of the impending robbery, urging heightened security measures. To Delacroix's shock, the manager revealed that they'd already received Interpol's instructions earlier that day to move the safe to a different, safer location. Delacroix soon realized, in a moment of furious disbelief, that he'd been tricked. Corina had expertly hijacked Interpol's communication channels, leading them deliberately astray. Meanwhile, Gwen swiftly executed her plan by commandeering the truck transporting the vault, with Sebastian secretly hidden inside. As the truck sped through winding roads, Sebastian began the high-stakes challenge of breaking into the legendary safe while on the move. But Corina, who stayed back at the casino monitoring security, quickly spotted Brad and Rolf approaching. She urgently warned Gwen moments before Interpol arrested her. Despite being violently shaken by the uneven roads, Sebastian's remarkable skill and determination prevailed, and he successfully cracked the legendary safe, unveiling stacks of cash within. But just as Sebastian and Gwen prepared to escape with their prize, Brad and Rolf caught up and confronted them. Brad, consumed by jealousy, aimed his gun at Sebastian, ready to end him, but his weapon was useless, sabotaged cleverly by Gwen beforehand. Turning the tables, Gwen confidently pointed her own gun at the defeated Brad. With Brad and Rolf now helplessly handcuffed to the truck, ready for Interpol's arrival, Sebastian and Gwen made their dramatic escape. Reaching the serene Austrian town of Hallstatt, Gwen and Sebastian prepared to flee by boat, pausing briefly to finally confess their feelings for each other. United by their love and shared passion, they dreamed of their next adventure, breaking into Wagner's last legendary safe in Nevada. Their tender moment was suddenly shattered as Delacroix appeared, weapon drawn, ordering them to surrender. Gwen responded by swiftly pulling her gun, sparking a tense standoff. Driven by love and sacrifice, Gwen struck a painful but necessary deal. She offered herself willingly to Delacroix, securing Sebastian's freedom. Before being taken away, Gwen promised Sebastian they would reunite once she was free again. Heartbroken, yet hopeful, Sebastian vowed they would meet again. As Sebastian sailed away, determined and hopeful, the scene faded. Sometime later, in California, a mysterious couple entered a locksmith shop, looking specifically for a master safecracker. They approached a man named Ludwig, who, as it turned out, was Sebastian himself, living under a new identity. The visitors revealed their thrilling proposal, the chance to finally crack Hans Wagner's legendary lost safe, the very safe Gwen had spoken of so passionately. With renewed hope and excitement, Ludwig eagerly accepted their offer, pledging to wait until Gwen was free so they could finish the incredible journey they started together. The adventure was far from over. It had only just begun.